What's up, and welcome back to another episode of Campfire Convos. Today is a special Father's Day episode. That being said, I got my father with me.
What's up?
And we are going to talk around the campfire for a little bit. But before we jump into that, we are sitting around a Muska Smokeless Fire Pit, sitting on some wooden Adirondack chairs.
Yep.
And we're going to be sipping on some Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select for our drinks at the end. Macanudo cigars. And our beer sponsor is back with the Brew Bank and Andy's Shandies. So we're going to drink some of these.
It's good stuff.
This is my favorite summer beer.
Yes.
It gets better every time.
Boy, is that good.
But we're going to talk for a little bit around the fire and see where it goes. But this should be a cool episode because we're going to talk about just life and some father-son stuff. So if you think you'll like that, stay tuned and hope you enjoy. What's up?
Not much. It's excited to be on Campfire Convos. I enjoy the channel you run this on, and excited, nervous, excited.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're excited to be here. You've not, I mean, you do like speeches and like public stuff sometimes, but you've never been on anything similar to this?
Well, no, not like this. But I do my fair share of public speaking, and not my favorite thing.
Yeah, I don't know many people who legitimately enjoy public speaking.
I agree.
But is there anything you want to start the episode off by saying, or?
Well, I guess I look at it, and I reflect on how special I feel to go be able to sit here and talk with my son. A year and a half ago, I lost my dad, and that's something that it's rough. It's hard. Yeah. Especially with Father's Day coming up, you want to think about all those special times, and come across a quote here a while ago, and it hit home. You don't realize how valuable your dad's advice is until you can't get it.
Yeah.
And so exciting to be able to share some time with you. And back in my day, growing up, we never had these opportunities to have something that in 30 years when I'm dead and gone, you can pull out and smile a little bit and say, I had that opportunity, which I didn't have. So I'm excited.
Cool. I am also excited. I think this is going to be, I mean, we've had a lot of these conversations over the years.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how many times we've sat around the fire and just bullshit, and the conversations go all over the place.
Some of the best.
Yeah.
Some of the best. Some of the great life lessons I feel come around sipping on a cold beverage and not caring what's going on out there, and just being real, and that's the important thing. It's you become maybe vulnerable. Sometimes your emotions come out, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's all a good thing.
I think growing up for a long time, I used to feel like the emotions and the being vulnerable wasn't okay. And I don't know for me when it changed, but is there a specific time where you felt more comfortable with your emotions and specifically sharing them with others?
Yeah, absolutely. And you grow up, and how I grew up, I mean, you're a man's man. You don't show those. And the day that changes when I married your mother. You take that special chapter, and when I think back, outside of my three sons being born, that was probably the best day of my life. So you appreciate the female perspective, and you open up a little bit, and so that's when I probably started letting my guard down the most. And then my mom passed. She's pushing 10 years now.
Yeah.
So never show the emotion, never cry, and no one's seen that.
Yeah.
But overwhelmed with emotion at those times, and vulnerable, yeah, maybe, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's life. It's part of life. So.
Yeah. I think especially the older we get, the less I care about being vulnerable. And the more life you experience, the more you understand shit gets hard. And if people are going to judge you for it, those aren't the people you want around anyways.
Correct. Oh, absolutely. I mean, the older and older you get, you know, some of the conversations I have with my dad, and it's great, you know, talking about this with Father's Day coming up. You know, my dad is a Facebook guy. Very, very little technology savvy, but he's on Facebook, and some of the shit he would say on there, you know, Mikey Simpson and the Bartolini boys, Donnie Simpson, them guys would come and say, shoot me a text, hey, you see what your dad said on there? So I'd get on Facebook, and I'd look, and I'd shake my head, and I'm like, so I'd call Dad and say, Pat, you can't say that. He says, you think I give a shit what anybody thinks? So I understand that more and more as I get older, because you don't. And there's only a few true friends I think you run into in life that you truly value what they think of you. And, you know, that I think is more important the older you get.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you experienced that with, you know, you had a good combo here the other day with a college roommate. Great episode, I loved it. And just nice to sit back and reflect 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't very long ago.
Yeah.
But nice to reflect those times. And you have those opportunities. I guess you create those opportunities. So it's always nice to sit back and reflect on them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the reflecting part, I don't know if this is for everyone or maybe you can relate, but when you sit down and have some of those conversations and you start thinking about it in that much detail, it feels like you're flashing back to being in that moment. And I get like the same goosebumps, like just the same feelings. Do you get?
Sure, absolutely. Take a couple instance. I think back, as young parents, the day you were born, the excitement, and you have it, everybody's around you, and then the nurse pushes you and your mom out. I'm in the car, put you in the seat, which we had no idea if he was in there, right? But we put you in the seat, and she shuts the door, and we look at each other and like, oh shit, it's real.
Yeah.
So some of them moments in life are they're neat, scary, but pretty cool when you think back on them.
Yeah. So what, besides like the oh shit part, what were your first, like, was it different when you found out mom was pregnant to like that oh shit when it's real? But like at what point do you feel things start changing? Did you feel your attitude started changing? Did you feel like your motivation or anything like that started changing as you got more?
No, again, it was that when they shut the door, it's like, well, this is real. All that time leading up to it, 9 months of preparing, getting stuff ready, and everybody telling you how to be a good parent. You listen, and you don't understand it until, wow, here we go.
Yeah.
It's real now. And I guess the biggest fear you have is living up to your dad and your mom's expectations. You want to be a good parent.
Yeah.
And it's scary. It's scary. But again, one of the greatest gifts in this world.
Yeah.
It is.
That's really cool. I'll get there eventually, hopefully, but I feel like at this point it might be a long ways off. But I think that's probably the thing that I'm looking forward to the most in life, is being able to share the life lessons that have been shared with me. And I think I might have talked about this with actually it might have been Carla. Like, just kids are cool, right? Like, you can impact someone else's life.
Sure.
In a lot of ways, but someone like a kid that you're responsible for, you don't just like change the direction of their life. You pretty much aim it, right? Like, sure. You might, after you raise your kid at 18 or whenever they go off on their own, from there on they're going to branch out a million different ways. Sure. You kind of have to accept that that's their life, and just hope that you did your best job to do it. which I feel very blessed to have you and Mom as my parents, because I just can't put into words how perfectly imperfect our childhood seemed. Like there was so much that, like, you guys looking at what you guys gave for us, and the figuring out as you go part, but in the best ways. It's hard to comprehend as someone who I'm currently older now than you guys were when you had me, and I can't imagine having a kid and being responsible and trying to figure out all the regular life stuff on top of navigating being a dad. That's hard to.
Well, I tell you what, you wish you can make a video of yourself in life and the life lessons you learned, and go back and be able to show it to you as you're going through that time.
Yeah.
Because as scared and unsure you are, yourself would tell you, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out. Because you do.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, I mean, you figure life out. And whatever it takes, from getting a trailer given to us free, to setting it up, setting the first night on a beanbag chair, eating mac and cheese. That was life. That's how it started.
Yeah.
Scared, worried, sure, but no, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So the best advice you could give yourself, your future self, is trust in how you were raised, the morals you have, and you'll do the right thing. Your heart will guide you to do the right thing.
Yeah. So you mentioned the trailer, and getting everything set up is one of the early obstacles. Is there something that comes to mind just in like early fatherhood, so let's say first 5 years or so, that you can think of that would be like the single most challenging part of it?
Yeah, the work-life balance. I mean, I've had some great leaders. I've been very fortunate to have come across some great leaders, and I've had some not so good ones that really had good conversations with me and made sure that I understood, because when I was young and growing, I didn't. I would wear my emotions on my sleeve or bring my work home.
Yeah.
And, have a bad day, bring it home, and maybe not be so nice or open. And thinking back, I wish I didn't do that as much. But I learned, and I grew, and God bless your mom. I mean, she was such a saint and so understanding. I hope you can find someone like your mom in your life. I really do. I mean, she's just such a wonderful person. But she's guided me through and helped me through so much. That was the biggest obstacle I had. The work-life balance. I'm still young. I love baseball. Still play baseball. Worked. Trying to be a first-time dad. Hoping I'm not screwing up. But very vulnerable. Feeling very vulnerable. So.
What about like later fatherhood? So like when, let's say, late high school into college, for me specifically, are there any challenges that you felt like you ran into? Was it hard to like change from me being home every day to going away to college and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's hard. It's a challenging time. Harder for your mother than it was for me, but it wasn't. She shows her emotions. I don't.
Yeah.
So I felt the same way she felt, and being scared, being nervous, but having that conversation with my dad when I went through, and that's, I go back and reference that you don't know how valuable that advice is until you can't get it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately I can't get it today, but him saying, you raised the kid right, he'll be okay.
No.
He knows what's right and wrong. And, I always hear that, your mom's voice in the back of my mind, make good choices, boys, make good choices. And knowing that, we did as good a job as we could do to make sure you understood what those choices needed to be.
Yeah.
So scared, nervous, but comfortable that we've guided you in the right direction. And we were kids too, so we did things that you guys have done that you probably shouldn't have done, and those are life lessons, and hopefully you learn from them. I mean, the greatest experience you can get is experiencing it yourself. People can tell you, hey, you'll understand someday. You don't. It's good to hear, but that day you'll be saying, damn, 100% right. 100% right. So, but that was probably the biggest obstacle when you grew and left the house for the first time was a challenge.
Was there ever a time, I'm going to ask this question and then take a little pause to relight this and to throw another log on the fire. But before I forget the question, was there ever a time where you had a concern that, not just me, I mean, maybe any of us had maybe lost our way a little bit? But before you answer,
okay,
let's relight these, because I don't know about yours, mine went out.
Mine is out. I tried to puff it and it wasn't good.
Knock that off. I'm not much of a cigar guy, so I don't know if I'd even do this right half the time.
Yeah, me either. Well, I got a good cut on it, so.
Yeah, I'm getting good pulls through. It just almost feels like it's a little, almost like damp. Which it's wet as hell out here, so that would make sense. And nailed again, dang it.
These are, brother just bought me these here, so I know they're pretty good.
Yeah, they taste good. I was worried. Any cigars I've legitimately enjoyed for a while have been acids because they're so sweet.
They're so good.
But, all right, time for a log on the fire. So we're gonna take a little pause. This particular log was not purchased by anyone, but it could be purchased by you. What we have is basically like a buy me a coffee kind of thing, but instead of buying us coffee, you buy some wood to put on the fire just to keep the conversation going.
Well, you know what? I have a couple guys I like to call out.
Absolutely.
On that, if you don't mind. There's some, and I'm sure we'll get into some conversations about friendships. And I don't have a whole lot of friends, but have a few that are very special to me. Mikey Simpson, good cat, a good dude. Donnie Simpson, both those are people that I truly admire. I really do, because of just the work ethic that they have. Entrepreneurs running their own business, great. Mike and Mark Bartolini, good cats, but we'll challenge them guys. How about that? We'll throw that out there and say, listen, you could purchase this log.
So, Bartolini boys and Simpson boys, if you're watching, you've been challenged to buy some logs for the fire. Keep the conversation flowing. All right, back to the question. Finally.
What was that question?
Was there ever a time that you felt that not just me, but maybe Tanner or Brady or any of us might be a little lost off the path?
Yeah, naturally. I mean, the uncertainty of, I guess never in general, no. But there's them nights that get your ass home at 11 o'clock and it's 11:30, and as a parent, human nature kicks in. Wow, oh my God, they're dead in a ditch. They're doing this and they're doing that. They didn't do what I've told them to do or thought I did. So yeah, sure, you question that, and you pray, good God, that that didn't happen. And again, we were very fortunate you guys were responsible and didn't get into those situations. But those are probably the few times in the world. Again, I guess it's neat having this conversation around Father's Day, because the dad's perspective is probably a whole lot different than your mom's.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes life work in general.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be very curious to have this conversation with Mom at some point. Unfortunately, we were on our little season break for Mother's Day, but I would be curious to see see what she thinks, and more of the emotional side too.
Sure.
But yeah, I think maybe sometime I can have both of you guys on an episode. I'm gonna have to get some shit figured out.
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty neat.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. Next question. What is there a story that comes to mind that from any point in raising us that you feel like might be a good example for people out there to just how to get through something, or an obstacle you feel might be common or uncommon, whichever you feel is best, but just something that comes to mind that you think would help someone out there?
Well, yeah, I guess it's easy for me to answer this question and relate, and you will as well. Baseball's been a big part of my life, and I think a big part of you guys' life. And baseball has given me and provided me with so many valuable life lessons that I would hope people. I run a business, and I have almost 400 people working for me, and I scratch my head someday and thinking, where's this person's head? How are they raised?
Yeah.
And I challenge that with how I guess I approached you guys and raised you. I don't lose. I don't fail. I've had failures and I've lost, but I don't accept it. So as long as you don't accept it, you move on. You'll go forward. You'll gain that experience by going through those times, and those are valuable. You don't want to feel that way. So what do? Work hard, whatever it is. How many hours did we spend in the backyard throwing the ball around, working on a stance, whatever it is. I mean, those are life lessons that as an athlete, you wish people could see, and that's taking that time and effort to push. I probably pushed too hard sometimes, and when I look back at regrets, I don't regret any of that, with the exception of at the time I knew that you probably didn't understand. But I knew when you get older you would. You would be thankful for somebody pushing you.
Yeah.
But you knew damn well at the time, nothing harder than them ride home from the ball game, were there?
No, not quite.
There's a challenge, and then I always like to talk about and share the goods, because there's goods.
Yeah.
But as a dad, as a parent, you're responsible for your kid. You're responsible to raise your kid. You're responsible to be truthful with your kid. Where I think so many people miss out today. It's okay. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not okay. You'll learn from this. That's the okay part. But if we push them to accept that effort or that, I think they're missing out, because you and Brady and Tanner are. I'm so proud of all three of you guys. You guys are so resilient. And I know it's because of how you were raised and how you were pushed that you figure it out. You might get a little pissed off. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I wish that would be something I would tell a parent out there. You're responsible for this kid you brought in the world. You have to make sure that you're giving him or her sound advice. But if there's one person in this world that you can trust to be honest with you, I hope it's your dad.
Yeah.
Moms kind of take it a little easy and sugarcoat a little bit. Dads don't.
Yeah.
Shoot straight with you. Listen, you sucked.
Yep.
You didn't do this. You didn't do that. It's not okay. And I think people need to hear that because they're not challenged. So when you get out in the real world, guess what? You're not ready for it.
Yeah.
You're not ready for it because the world is brutal. I had no ill intentions whatsoever trying to beat you up or make you feel sad, or none of that was the intention. It was to make sure you understood that you have to be prepared for this, because you're going to experience this in your life.
Yeah.
This is real. And, that is a struggle. And that's where I hope that you guys get. You go through those obstacles in life and like, wow, how do I do this? Well, through your experience in life, or I feel baseball myself in general, wow, I get through this. I'll get through this. I know that's okay. I struck out these last 2 times, game-winning guys on second base. I'm up. No doubt in my mind. I'm single, and we're going to win.
Yeah.
So it's that confidence you want to build, but that's probably the biggest piece of advice I'd give people. Be responsible for your kid.
Yeah. I'd like to comment on a couple of things you just said, actually. We kind of touched on it before, but the whole like emotional versus logical way of thinking that you and Mom have. I do think, especially traditionally, that was the dynamic, and I attribute a lot of my overall values and success to having those two polar opposites.
Sure.
Like, okay, I'm a little upset. I need a little reassurance. Go to Mom. I have a challenge, and I got to figure it out. I need some like hard, like, this is the like solutions, I guess. Go to Dad. That's been the dynamic that it's been for me, at least. That's probably not the dynamic for everyone, but
Well, I don't want to interrupt you, but let me shock you for a second.
okay.
You don't think I didn't realize that? You didn't think that me and your mom, and one thing I'm proud of me and your mom was we communicate really well. Mm-hmm. There are times where I would reach out to her and say, I need some help, some support, because I know it was tough.
Yeah.
And she would go take that bullet for me, so to speak, and make that situation better. I bounce a lot off your mom, a lot off your mom. So I agree with you. The coddling and the punch in the mouth is the 2 different things you get. But behind the scenes, I think we both did a nice job bouncing stuff back and forth off that, because I wasn't happy with how this went, but maybe I wasn't man enough to say, listen, I'm wrong. I think I've done that over time, and I wish I could change that, but sometimes you can't. But having a solid partner for life is special, and I really appreciate your mom for that.
Yeah, I feel like that's something I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that you guys really had that back and forth dynamic. So that's really cool to know. I think that's a lot of. Growing up in general is seeing the behind the scenes a little bit more and more. But that was something that's kind of my next comment was the intention behind the stuff. Like, my advice to anyone out there, younger specifically, is your parents mean well, right? And that's unfortunately not always the case. But from my situation, I was fortunate enough to know for a fact, without a doubt, that both of my parents' intentions were pure. They wanted what's best for me, no matter what. I might not agree with how you went about it in the moment or the different things, but looking back, I can honestly say there's not a single situation where I can question if your intentions were good. Right. I might question the route in which it would happen, and in the moment, the whole, and I feel like I can't think of any specific time. I can't even think of a time where I actually said it. But like the whole I hate you to a parent, like in that teenage years where you just you get into a fight and it's just I hate you. Sure. I can't think of anything that would be more hurtful to someone who cares about you so much than saying something like that. And I can remember times where that's how I felt. Like, you don't care about me. You don't see the world that I'm living, and coming to that realization of, oh shit, yeah, they do know exactly what the world I'm living in, and they're doing what they feel is what's absolutely best for me in that moment. It might not always be exactly what's best for me, but it's what they feel like. Sure. And I think there's a lot of people that could get past some stuff with parents if they could look back and see that. I think there's nothing more tragic than, people who grow up, turn 18, and say, fuck you guys, I'm out of here.
Sure.
And I think a lot of that could be fixed with a simple conversation. Like, hey, I was a kid too. I was,
Sure.
You have a young parent who's 18, 19, 20 that's still a kid, and now you're 25, and you'd be like, oh shit, life is hard.
Right.
I can't blame them for messing up how they did. But I think there's a lot of growing up that can happen that can fix relationships. But I mean, not that ours needed fixed, because
Sure.
I feel like we've had a very fortunate relationship. I can't think of.
Yeah, I agree with you. I tell you what, some of the prouder moments I guess I've had were, I've had some conversations with Mikey, Donnie, Mike, Mark. We've talked about family, and that's important and critical to me. But one of the biggest compliments I think I've ever received in life is, you don't know how good you have it. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, where are we going with this? He says, you have adulted kids that want to be around you.
Yeah.
And that makes your heart glow, man. I'm telling you, it is, because it's you go through those tough times and the challenges and the tough lessons that you hope at some point they realize exactly what you said. Listen, I have no ill intent for this. I'm giving you this advice because I feel this is best for you to hear at this moment.
Yeah.
Whether it's right or wrong, who knows? Okay, that's for anybody to judge. But at some point, as you said, you step back and you realize, like, wow, okay. And I wish I wish I could give a young kid out there that advice. Listen, whenever you're having that tough conversation, listen, mom and dad love you. They're just trying to do the right thing for you. You may not understand today. And how many times we tell, you've heard that.
Yep.
You may not understand today, but this is what I need to do. And true to life, as I grew up, I found that very true. I got the ass chewing when I needed the ass chewing. Didn't feel that day I needed it, but because I'm a man, I'm growing up, and I still need the ass chewing.
Yeah.
Because you're a parent till you're put 6 foot under. Mm-hmm. You are. And when I lost dad, I lost mom prior to that, and then dad, you're an orphan. I don't have that outlet any longer, and you miss it. You miss it a lot. So I cherish those times that my kids, adult. I mean, we've been on family vacations for the last 4 or 5 years. Here we do our Christmas one.
Yeah.
And to hear those guys tell me, you know how lucky you are for your adult kids that want to be around you.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. Pretty neat.
Just because you said that, real quick, for anyone listening, if I can recommend anything for Christmas, quit doing gifts. They're nice, but quit doing them. Take all the money that you would spend on gifts for each other and put it into a family trip and go somewhere with each other. Just go somewhere cool. Take the time off. Does not matter what you have to give up to do that. There is nothing worth more than something to me than those trips we've been on.
I tell you what, and the older you get, when you're young, I mean, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
But when you get older, today, I mean, what do you need? What can I buy you that you need? Nothing.
Yeah.
Whatever you need, you figure out a way to work for it and get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's so true. So the gifts are, what do they mean? Not that there's no meaning behind it, but it's stuff that you probably don't need. If you needed it, you'd have bought it.
Yeah.
So, like you said, put that money into it. I mean, think about some of the trips. I mean, we've had some we've been to Florida. The one reminds, we were out out east. We did the tubing and whatnot.
tubing. Or Deep Creek.
Not by Stroudsburg.
Stroudsburg.
I can't think of the name of it. But
tubing.
Yeah, tubing. You guys skied. You guys did the
Poconos.
Poconos. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking water tubing.
What a great trip. I mean, weather was shitty. Snow, rain. Had a house, nice house. We sit around and played games.
Yeah.
A game that your mom don't like. You know, we introduced a couple of those. Goat cheese pizza, whatever the hell it is.
Taco, cat, goat
There you
cheese
go.
pizza.
But you know, it's neat because you sit back and you know, you cherish those. You cherish those moments, and those are cool.
Yeah.
Those are a really good experience. You know, went out to Ohio. Similar situation. It was rough and shitty weather, and didn't matter. We were together.
Yeah.
We spent 7 days and enjoyed each other's company. Pretty special.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that really opened my eyes up was it doesn't matter where we go.
Sure.
It's just us being together is just a fun time. We figure out how to make the best whatever situation we have. I mean, sometimes we get nice weather and we get to go out. Other times we don't. And
Right.
all right, go to the store, pick up a $3 game, and go back and play it for 6 hours and have a good time doing it.
What's it cost you? That doesn't cost you.
Yeah.
And you know the things that you know I think people miss out in life in general are the things that are free.
Yeah.
What's free mean? Well, you know, it don't cost you a whole lot. It costs you effort.
Yeah.
You can make the time special. Some of the best vacations we've been on are going to camp.
Mm-hmm.
Probably spent $200 a week.
Yeah.
Spent time at camp, but pretty memorable.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, those. I'm glad you brought that up. I hope people take a look at that and you know, those gifts that you can give somebody Christmas morning. You take off the stress because I hate buying shit for Christmas. I do.
Yeah.
But you're buying shit for somebody you don't know what the hell they need. They don't need it. It's a waste.
Yeah.
But you invest that time in your family is ultimately what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly I can't think of a single thing we've changed tradition-wise that I've enjoyed more than that. So
I agree.
I think more people, especially with adult kids, like you're saying, like, okay, kids,
Mm-hmm.
they believe in the Christmas spirit and all that stuff. I do think that that's very magical, right? And I'm sure it was much different for you when we walked downstairs and,
Cool.
you know, had presents under the tree and we're unwrapping them and getting all excited and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're adults, like you're saying, and there's just having that time together as a family is just irreplaceable.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with 100%.
All right, super quick pause. I just have to check our cameras really quick, so we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Cameras are still good. As you can see, and probably hear, it's raining a little bit, so just got to make sure that the equipment doesn't get too moist. All right. Is there any other advice you can think of to give to not just dads, but just families out there that you think make a difference in bringing us closer?
Well, I think the older and older you get, I would say your responsibilities change more than you understand your responsibilities, and you put your time and effort into those. And again, as your mom told you growing up, there's nothing more important in your life than your family. You know, we've been a baseball family all your life. You know, I guess I coached for 21 years. Baseball is so good to me. A life lesson Dad taught me was, hey, give back, teach. So not only teach my kids and you know, talk about a proud dad. I don't know how many people have 3 kids that went and played college baseball or college sport, period. Very proud of that. Very proud of that. And you know, yourself and Brady were fortunate to play in a College World Series. Tanner just unfortunately was not on a very good team, but that Tan man was he's fun, man. He's got a heart. He's got a heart on him.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I could pinpoint all those out for each of you, but you know, baseball is so important part of our life, and as we talked already, you know, the life lessons I feel you learn from that is pretty important. But you know, invest time in whatever it is. If it's baseball, if it's football, if it's band, whatever it is, invest in your kid.
Yeah.
Be open-minded, which easier said than done. I realize that, but as the advice you're trying to give to someone today is, you have to be that way. You have to be that way.
Yeah.
So be open-minded to whatever your kid is interested in. Try to support them in that. To make sure they understand you can go as far as life as far as the effort you put into it. If you want it, who knows to tell you can't get there?
Yeah.
Nobody. So whenever you bust down walls, you teach your kid to bust down walls down for themselves, because you do the biggest part of your life growing up busting the walls down for them.
Yeah.
You want to teach them how to break that wall down themselves. To understand that, hey, listen, I can do whatever I want. I can put my mind to it. So that is something that's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, I can obviously speak firsthand to that. Growing up, it was okay, and a lot of these conversations were like we're talking the real, like the conversations you need to hear, maybe don't want to hear. Like,
Sure.
Hey, you're trying. It sucks. You got to do a little better.
Sure.
Put the work into it and get better at it. And a lot of my life has been that. Like my favorite thing is when someone tells me I can't do something.
Sure, absolutely.
Watch this. That's the.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, there's nothing more satisfying, in my opinion. Like, and learning new skills and picking up something you're not good at. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people lose touch with that, where they stop learning, they get. I think too many people get too comfortable with where they're at, mm-hmm. and don't try to grow, whether it's in a passion, a hobby, their profession, being a parent, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. You just kind of accept where you're at, right. and sit there. Right. Again, still a little young, just 30, so I feel like I've lived enough life to talk about it in this way, but I really don't want to get to a point in life where I don't want to be better at my career, at podcasts, right. at YouTube, it being a friend, it being right. a son, it being a right. father someday, it being a grandfather someday. All of those things, I always want to be the best version of myself that I can be, and whatever it is. And it might not matter to other people, right. but if I decide it matters to me, I want to be good at it.
So I guess that's understood, and I love hearing the comment. Tell me I can't do it. No, I'll show you.
Yeah.
That's how you're brought up. That's how you're raised. You can do whatever you want, and there's nobody in this world going to tell you any different. If you had to give yourself advice, and again, as you said, you're only 30, but you're a man now. Been a man for several years. What advice would you give yourself to whether it's a life lesson that you maybe didn't capitalize on you should have, or where your life is at today? And I guess when I look at that, when I ask that question, it's probably a little loaded, because I have a sense of pride, maybe some jealousy looking at you, because you've traveled the world. You've done a lot of things. I don't have that in me. Get up, go to work, go to sleep. Get up, go to work, go to sleep. It's life, and I'm very proud of what I've been able to provide for the family. But it's neat to see you branch out and do different things. It's not been easy for you, I know. You figure it out.
Yeah.
But any advice you'd give yourself?
Like younger version of me to get to this point?
Well, if you knew today of a decision that you made that you not necessarily regret, or you'd have done a little different, or you'd have done it completely different, and why would you say, I wish I would have done this, and this is why, because I didn't get this out of it, I guess is where I'm getting at with that.
I think at this point in my life, I can honestly say there's nothing I would change. Mm-hmm. And my advice would be cheesy, but everything happens for a reason.
Sure.
you're not going to understand it in the moment, especially when the shitty things happen.
Right.
But one day it's going to make sense, and you're going to wake up and realize I'm in this place because all of the good and bad things that I've done, and I have the cards in my hand because of the things that I've built.
Sure.
And there's been a lot of hard things that you know, in the moment you're like, am I going to get through this?
Sure.
Whether it's, you know, dealing with relationship stuff or dealing with business stuff, or, I mean, leaving a comfortable salaried job to go do my own thing when I had no idea what I was doing was probably the hardest decision.
Sure.
And I think a lot of that was because of some of the expectations that I had in myself, or that I felt that were kind of aimed. I mean, starting with Walmart, everyone in the area knows you, right? They all knew, you know, store manager has the one of the best stores, if not the best store in the area consistently. So the expectation to perform there was obviously known, right? But having enough confidence and faith that, you know, I don't feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. So trying out the other options might be what's in best interest for me wasn't easy to do. I mean,
Sure.
you couple the changing your entire lifestyle with the leaving the comfortability of salaried, which is, sometimes I look back and I'm like, what the shit what were you thinking? Leaving, you know, consistent, where would I be at if I had that kind of money to invest in the things that I wanted to do? But the thing I gained was time. And to me, there's nothing like, how many trips would I miss with the family if I had a full-time job, or like a 9 to 5 consistent job? How many opportunities would I have missed out on with friends, or just anyone where, hey, you want to go? No, I got to work. If I could provide the people I care about with any one thing, it would be more freedom to spend the time how they want.
Right.
And I'm not there yet. I'm trying to get there, working towards it. But I think I'll get there one day. I don't think. I know I'm going to get there one day. I just hope I can get there as soon as possible, so that I can spend the time with all the people I care about before, you know, Tanner and Brady, who knows where they're going to be when they start their families and all that stuff. So being able to spend time together as the five of us.
Right.
I'm sure there's going to be a point where each of us have our own families, and that time gets split up a little bit differently. But the faster I can get there, the more time I have individually with everyone. So that's kind of the thing I'm working
it's interesting to hear you say that. And you talk about money. I've been fortunate my life to be able to provide for you and your mom, and probably the best thing I think is success we've had with you guys being great young adults is, the ability to have your mom stay at home with you. It's a helpful thing to have a babysitter raise you, see your first things. We were fortunate that your mom was able to do that and guide you. Because again, go back to, as we talked before, we're going to give you that direction out of nothing but the goodness of our heart, wanting to do the best for you.
Yeah.
Or someone else may not necessarily feel that way. So, but money's not everything. It's not. You learn that the more you go. It makes life easier. It does. But you can't buy love. You hear that all the time. You can't buy respect. All that's earned, and you have to work at that.
Yeah.
So it's neat seeing you branch out and doing those things. I scratch my head sometimes and wonder, how do you do it? How do you make that decision? I can't do that. I could have lost my job at Walmart when I was doing that. I'd have been working at McDonald's and Burger King in the afternoon if I had to do what I had to do. And I'm sure you'd do the same if you get to that point in your life. But it's interesting hearing you say that. And obviously I'm a little older, and I've shared some advice and some things. I've had life lessons, but it's interesting to hear your perspective of that as well, because I think your audience out here is probably more in tune with you than they are with me.
Yeah.
But I think they can all understand and reflect upon a dad. They've hopefully most of them had a dad in their life, or mom, or someone who's been important to them, and they can think back and smile a little bit and think about, yeah, I remember that time when I had that, which is I think what this is all about.
Yeah, I think honestly, if no
log on here for you.
Oh yeah. So we've called out
Mikey Simpson, you owe me.
We've called out the Barlini boys and the Simpson boys. But if anyone else watching or listening would like to donate or to purchase us a log, we would appreciate it. The link will be in the description. Probably should have said that earlier for the other guys.
That'd have been wise.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for how to do that. I'm sure I'll get a few texts for it. Hey, where's that link at? But yes, it is in the description below. It will just say buy me a log, and the link will be there. It is much appreciated, and it will keep the conversation going and hopefully provide some more life advice to other people.
So throw this out. Another question for you. Mm-hmm. You're getting involved in, you're expanding your brand, mm-hmm. which is neat. So Campfire Convos, pretty cool. I was excited, like I said, nervous and excited to be on here with you.
Yeah.
How would somebody go about getting in touch with you and maybe bringing up a topic that they'd be interested in sitting down and talk to you about?
Yeah, so a couple different ways. I have my email, and I have a Google form for people who are interested in being on the show. Mm-hmm. Basically, just ask some questions like basic contact information and all that stuff, but some background. What things are you passionate about? Because one of the main reasons I started Campfire Convos was to give people that I care about, and friends, family, and mm-hmm. just anyone who's passionate about mm-hmm. something, a platform to talk to people.
Sure.
And I think two things happen when you actually care about the topic. Mm-hmm. One, you share how you really feel, which mm-hmm. is really important to me with this with this podcast, because I don't want someone coming on here and being like, blowing smoke and
right.
just saying what they think they should say. I want to hear what you truly feel and what advice you would give other people, right. because that's what we need. We don't need someone who's just, oh yeah, it's all smoke or rainbows and sunshine.
Right.
Nope. Sometimes it's hard. This is the advice you need to get through this.
Right.
This is what I've experienced, and this is how I got through it. And the other thing is it's much more. Like, you're proud of it, right? Like, if you come on here, and if I sat here and asked you about, like, oh, hey, what's your favorite kind of camping chair? Or what's your favorite kind of tent? You really going to care about
right.
sending that to your buddies?
Right, absolutely.
No, but to sit on here and be like, hey, I had this conversation with my son.
Sure.
Here it is. I feel like that's something that provides value to the guests that I can have that sure. is something that I've wanted. Mm-hmm. So I figured, if I'm not getting it, I'll provide it.
Sure.
So...
Well, I mean, I think that's well said, and quite a challenge to throw to people out there that, thinking back how we grew up, and, we've talked a lot about our family, some of the best times we've had has been sitting around a fire.
Yep.
And the conversations are unedited, real, and I think it's neat that you have something like this going on, and I don't know if I've told you, but I've challenged Elon Musk and some different folks out there to come join you, because there's nothing better than what I enjoy. I guess watching your stuff is it's just real conversation, and there's nothing better than that. You get into a lot of vulnerable people feel vulnerable sometimes because it's real. Their feelings are coming out.
Yeah.
And that is something important. But I was always curious on how you went about picking folks to be on your cast with you.
Yeah. So, real quick recap on that, just super quick. The links will be in the description also for both email on how to reach out to me if you feel more comfortable doing it that way, and then the Google form, it'll probably take you 10 minutes to fill it out. Again, basic information, contact information, podcast topics, and all the fun stuff. So check those out if you're interested in being on the show. I'd love to hear from you. But yeah, that's
Cool.
yeah. Super quick pause. I want to double check something really quick before we get too much further. And we're back. Sorry about that. Just got to make sure we have everything going well, and the rain's kind of making it a little extra difficult. So, we just talked about how someone could be on here. What is your overall, like, what do you feel about this podcast so far? Like, how have you enjoyed being on it?
Well, I tell you what, like, as I mentioned when we started, I lost my dad, and it's one of the toughest things you go through in your life. It is. Everybody's a man's man, and unfortunately, to experience it, you don't know. And the ability to spend this time with you and chat around things we've done all of our life, where you could step back someday when I'm long gone and reflect upon it's the coolest thing I have, you know. And you know, you talk about Brady and Tanner, you know, I'd love to have these conversations with them as well. That'd be something that's that neat, so they could experience that at some point in your life, because I don't have that. You know, when I lost my dad, you know, tough. Saturday morning, you know, Brady had a ball game down in Maryland. Hey, bud, you going? Yeah. You think you might want to pick me up? Sure, Pat, we'll pick you up. So I picked him up that morning, and we drove 2 hours out of Cumberland. The piece I have with it is that conversation, not knowing at the time, but reflecting back upon it. He was comforting me for what he must have felt his time was coming to an end. I really feel that way, because that conversation, the stories I've heard hundreds of times, reiterating, but it was important to him to get that point across that I appreciate today, because I can't get that. Every day I left work, I called him. Every day I called him. Reassurance, hear his voice, and yeah, whatever it is. I don't have that, and that was his way of giving me this last hurrah. Here we go. 2 hours down. Watch the ball game. Brady got his last ass chewing. Had a great game. He played really well, and he said, "God damn it, you got to have them high pitches, bud." But you know, hopefully he understands that you know, he wanted to spend that time and go watch it. Which, you know, all of our grandkids. I mean, God, our family's been blessed with him. We have some great athletes in the family. You know, Sophie and Luke, and Hunter, Chase, Taylor. You know, and obviously my three boys. You guys have been fortunate to have a grandfather, grandmother to support you. But you know, that trip was so special. Didn't realize it, unfortunately, at the time. And you know, I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but you know, that was in hunting season. I work early Tuesday, so I got to go hunting in the afternoon. Own that property over in McIntyre, so I swung over there and hunted. Drove right by his house Tuesday night, and was tired. Just wanted to go home. And it sucks, because I could have stopped to see him. He passed away the next morning.
Yeah.
I wish I had that again, but knowing my dad understood. I knew he'd understand that, and but yeah, that was special. That was a special time, and that makes it easier, if it could be easier, having that experience. And I think this will provide you with something that you'll be able to appreciate and smile back upon.
Yeah, I have absolutely no doubt that this will be something that I will cherish forever. But for the record, you better stick around for a long fucking time.
Well,
you got a lot of shit to figure out.
That's the plan.
And do.
I ain't retired yet.
Yeah. But yeah, that's. I don't know that I've ever shared this with you, actually. So back when Graham passed, I was going back to school like the weekend before. And I was supposed to go, I think actually with you, and just stop in and see her in the hospital. And I didn't. And then that week is when we left for Florida. And walking to the baseball bus is when I found out, right?
Right.
So I kicked myself in the ass. I mean, she was in and out of the hospital for a long time. Right. So I was under, basically living like, oh, well, I get another chance. I'll get another chance. And didn't. So I kicked my own ass for a long time. But with Pap, the last time that we got to hang out, we were all at the Legion. And he needed his scooter in his car. And just, Pap stuff, get into the car and all this stuff. And I mean, there was definitely times I'm like, oh shit, this again? Like,
sure.
Hey, we told you we could fix up something to get you in the car. Right. You don't even need us, but I don't know, there's something that time. It was, yeah, sure. Walk out, talk to him a little bit, and get to shake his hand one more time. So looking back on that is, it just feels like it was a life lesson that was learned the hard way. And similarly, I feel more okay with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you understand that, and as I said before, you're a parent to the day you die, man. I mean, you are, and whatever those lessons you can, and I smile upon that. 2 hour down, 2 hour back conversation, thinking back of what we talked about, he was reassuring me that I'm proud of you. Things will be okay. Lived a good life. He enjoyed his life and did his thing. But you step back when my mom passed. That was a challenging time, and God bless Mom. She was such a great person and such a heart of gold, just like your mom. That you don't want to live life with regrets. And me and Mikey and me and Donnie, we have a lot of conversations about Dad. And one thing I challenge them to, and I know me and Mike and Mark have both talked about this, is listen. Take every opportunity you can. Yeah. Because you truly don't know. And it's as cheesy as you can find on a billboard somewhere. You don't know when that last opportunity is, and you don't. But you don't want to have the regret that you didn't. Yeah. And as busy as our lives are, how would you not like to take 10 more minutes and have Pap sitting right there and saying, you'd die for that. Oh, yeah. So take the 10 minutes, pick up the phone, make a phone call. Don't regret it, because it's life's hard to live that way. It really is. Yeah.
All right, I think we got time for probably one or two last questions. Okay. Before I jump into my last questions for you, is there any questions that you had that you wanted to ask, so you also have something to look back for on this conversation?
Well, I guess things that I look back on that's important to me is obviously a family man. I've always been that way. And things that, I guess, do I regret or don't regret? Sure I do, but, I don't have a whole lot of friends. I don't. And I'm okay with that. Whether it's my personality or what my focus is in life, I'm okay with that. But I can tell you this, the friends I do have in my life, I cherish. I really do. Another one of those billboard things you see out there is, I might not have 6 friends that would carry my casket to the gravesite, but I have one son of a bitch who'll carry that whole goddamn thing on his back. Yeah. I have a few friends like that, and that's important. We all have those people that I don't want to say they're fake friends, but you lose in touch with. But there's a select few that you'll have all your life.
Yeah.
I got most of my friends that I feel that I would do anything for, and I'm sure they'd do the same later in my life. And today, I'd do anything for those folks. And that's something that I would like people to hear out there. That listen, it is so important, and everybody can relate exactly what I'm saying. You have that person in your life. Mm-hmm. The older you get, you don't know how much time you have. So make every effort you can to be a good friend to them. I smile, and me and Mikey spent a lot of time together. I think the world of that guy. Donnie, Mike, Mark Bartolini's, them guys are some of them go-tos. Justin, me and Justin and Jeremy coach ball together. Some friendships with them, but those there are a few people outside of your family that are important to you. As important as your family is, and you have to do right by your family. Mm-hmm. Straighten your ass up. Make sure you do right by your friends. Because it's pretty important. It's pretty important. It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a great trip. You joined us this year.
Yep.
Our fishing trip. Again, not the best weather that we had, but did it matter?
Nope.
We had a great time. What a great time. And Mikey set that up for us. We had that group of friends that I'm talking about that I had that. I was able to bring to you. Tanner was out gallivanting around another country. He wasn't able to join us this year, but he did last year. But so neat, such a neat thing. Those experiences are something that are so near and dear to my heart. Yeah. So
I am. It also means a lot to me how. Seeing those relationships you have with those guys, because I feel like it's also kind of changed my expectations for my friends, mm-hmm. And my expectations, more importantly, for me being a friend. Mm-hmm. Looking at how you guys interact with each other and how much you have each other's backs is truly inspiring. To like you're saying, the one person is going to carry the casket if they have to. It's very easy to get caught up in your own life and mm-hmm. be, so caught up that you can't pay attention to other stuff.
Sure.
But I think you get a lot more out of life when you stop, you look around, see who's around, see who really cares,
sure.
and you can give them what they deserve. And it just, I don't know, it's hard to... It's impossible to replace that. Yeah. You can't get that.
Sure.
In other places.
Well, I'll tell you what. Any of those guys I mentioned, I can pick up the phone right now and say, "Listen, that's what I got going on." It doesn't matter what it is. Mm-hmm. They're going to do whatever they have to do to be there.
Yeah.
And when Dad died, Dad was my support line.
Yeah.
My man's man. You don't show that emotion, and all four of those guys reach out to me, and they don't realize it, but it meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Because that was that changing point. Because I didn't have that, and I apologize. I bugged their ass, I'm sure, because I called them on my way home from work because I have that void in my life.
Yeah.
That I'm reaching out for. Through the friendships I have, and they've been very good. Mike Bertolino is another good guy that's been another father figure to me. That me and him have some great conversations. We've talked a lot. Yeah. So those are lifelong friends, and those are special, and everybody can relate to that. They have those people, mm-hmm. and if you find yourself you don't, you better find them.
Yeah.
Where to find them. But more likely, to your point, it's probably because maybe you've been a shitty friend.
Yeah.
You haven't been that kind of friend that I could call them today and do that, could they do the same for me?
Yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge you have out there.
Okay. For the last question, I'm going to cheat because I had a list of questions.
Sure.
I think I've touched on most of them, but I'm going to check this really quick. All right, so we just talked about, friends and connecting with friends. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you'd want to say to a listener who might be struggling to connect or reconnect with a parent?
Yeah, when we think about that, I have a proud story that I have, and someone, I'm sure they listen to this because I push them to say, listen, my kid's got this shit going on, listen. My buddy Fluff, he's such a good guy. I tell you what, I am almost as proud of him as I am of you guys, my kids. This young man lost his way in the world. And again, this is him, the conversations he's had with me. And you remember the special weekend we had about 2 years ago, you ought to get him with the blue label?
Yeah.
Fluff bought me that. And the reason why, we've had the conversation where, he's not my kid. I don't know him. He worked for me.
Yeah.
To have a conversation with that guy and see that passion in his eyes and that thankfulness warms my heart, because what did I do? I listened, guided, gave an opportunity is what I did.
Yeah.
And what I try to tell him all the time, listen, all this success you've had in your world now is you. You've done it. I just helped you. I showed you the way. And, people are that way in life. You need to have those type of people in your life. And again, the challenge I give to people, you don't know who that is. And why would you not, as a human being, take that opportunity when something presented yourself with that?
Yeah.
That guy, I'm first-time store manager, and come back from lunch and hear damn basketball bouncing. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Fluff and his crews unloading my truck. They're playing basketball, 3-on-3. So it was a neat story, but I was pretty fired up. And he come back, had a conversation with him. I didn't know him, who he was, and the thing that struck me day one with him, he said, listen, I know we're wrong. I'm going to take complete ownership for that. It was me. I'm responsible. Don't hold anyone else accountable. That's me. And that conversation there changed my perspective of it didn't matter at that point, because he was a man. He owned up to his shit.
Yeah.
And through those conversations, had what's he doing, what you want to do in life, and learned a lot about his struggles that he's had with his dad. Not a very big part of his life. His mom was his mom and dad, and did all that guidance. But the family was a little bit of a struggle there, and that he talked about not having opportunity, not having chance, and wanted to do this and wanted to do that, and I was fortunate because I was in a position I could help you. I didn't do anything for him. I gave him a chance.
Yeah.
And that's where I always tell him, you need to be proud of what you did, dude, because you did it, not me. I just provided the opportunity. You could have went about doing your way again, but the day he handed me that bottle of Blue Label and said, I can't tell you how important you are in my life, is a special moment. And I guess the point of this is you don't know who you're going to come across tomorrow that you can make an impact in their life. What it cost me? Not a dime.
Yeah.
An opportunity, believing in someone, kind words. That's free. That doesn't cost you anything. So those are pretty neat things to be able to accomplish in life.
Yeah. So you would say, as far as that connection, right? Whether it's, you know, a friend, a parent, whatever, is just give them an opportunity to kind of fulfill that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, just like how we raised you. I mean, you provide that opportunity as a parent. You provide them, and I provided you guys a lot. I spent a lot of time and effort with you, but you guys had a want to do it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have that work ethic and you desire to want to make Dad proud. I don't know. I hope so, but that's not the reason I did it. I didn't. You know, you want to show you, hey, listen, whatever you want in life, you work for it, you get it.
Yeah.
That's on you. So, pretty cool thing. But you know, again, you just don't know who you're going to come across tomorrow.
Yeah.
And what's it take? What's it take to lend an ear, or a kind word, or give someone an opportunity, and do it if you can.
Yeah. I love that. I feel like we're probably a little over the limit we were going for talking wise, which I kind of anticipated because.
Sorry, Carla.
Yeah. Yeah. Beat Carla's record. That for the record. Everyone who's on here, it is not a challenge to beat the last person's time. This thing's going to end up being 3 hours long. But I did anticipate this one being one of the longer ones. And I have a million other questions. But I think I am going to ask one more question, I think. Just let me double check my
Is this your bonus question?
list here. No, not bonus question. We are going to do that again, though. For those of you listening, if you've not heard the bonus episodes, there are bonus episodes on the weeks between actual episodes. They're only on Substack, which will also be linked down below. And it's just a little bit of like a rapid fire. It's either a rapid fire, like quick, short questions, or it's like one deep question. The viewer or the guest does not get to know that question at all before we have it. So it's
What do you mean? I don't know a damn question you were asking me tonight.
Well, I mean, you really don't know that one.
Okay.
So, like, our other stuff is, like, you fill in the form, and it's, like, general topics. But this is, like,
I gotcha.
just whatever I feel is, like, a good question. So yes. I asked all these questions already. All right. What is one life event that you are looking forward to from now until ever?
Well, I think that's a pretty simple answer. It's retirement. Again, I spent a lot of time on the ball field, playing and then coaching. Like, of course, I played till I was 53 years old, 52, 53, and then, coached you guys for a long time. And gotta love your mom. She supported me 100% the whole time. But now it's her time. And so I look forward to retirement. I look forward to sitting back and being proud of my kids' success. I think as a parent, you want to see your kids have less struggles than you had in life and be more successful than you are. So nervous but excited to see that. I'd love to be a grandparent. Quick story that was a proud moment, and it's not you, but something that's I could see that happened yesterday, and this was 22, 23 years ago. Back in the day, didn't have any money, so changed my own oil. Laying down in my old Toyota, laying down there, maybe saying a couple bad words, struggling a little bit, and your brother Tanner climbed underneath, had his head in the back, and he's looking up there, like, "What are you looking at, Dad?" I looked over and seen him, and they make you cry, because you look at that and you wanted to see the involvement that you have with your kid, and see that interest that he paid in there, which was really cool moment in my life. Like I said, I can remember it like it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
But pretty cool experience.
It's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna do a toast.
Okay.
And end the episode, and then we'll do our bonus episode.
Cool. So today we're toasting to?
We are toasting to Father's Day and all the fathers out there. Ooh, this little tag. You say when. How big of a shot do you want?
Good.
You? All right. Again, that is Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Whiskey. Before we do the shot, I do want to sip these beers one more time. Brewbank, Andy Shaney.
Fabulous.
Best summer beer ever.
Salute.
Salute. Oh, so good. Whew. Almost threw it on the ground. All right. Dad, thank you for everything. I truly don't think I'll ever be able to thank you enough for the life lessons and for making me who I am today. But thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, and the pride that I have, get to watch you and your brothers grow up, is thanks enough. So salute.
Salute.
Hey now. Whew. Pretty good.
It is. It's a little spicier than I remember. All right. Well, that is all we have for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. I'm not even going to call out any of the other stuff because you guys have heard it too many times this time. But thank you so much for being here. Until next time, we appreciate you.
Peace.